This big?
This one? Just like
Chorus?
Oh, there is hope here in His presence.
It's a little fast.
Yes, there is peace here in this place.
City of Grace has so many lines and lyrics in it that are so from Central, you know, like
Right.
everybody in Central knows it's okay to not be okay. Everyone in Central knows, come to the table, you belong here. His arms are open wide. Like, that's what we say.
I know for me, like that line, I could just sense like the people of Central just having this pride moment. That's such an explicit and clear, like, oh, this is Central's song. And Drew, you were excited about that line, and you were obviously got to spend a lot of time with Jesse Reeves and Steve Fee, David Cook. How was this one different, just getting to bring some outside perspective in?
So Steve and Jesse had said, is there like a message that you feel like would just kind of really describe who your church is? I'm like, yeah, it's a grace-driven church. On the side of our building, it says it's okay to not be okay. And so we wanted to write a song that says, all are welcome here. In fact, one of the things I told Jesse was, I really would love to get that line in there, it's okay to not be okay. And Jesse goes, yeah, I don't know about that. I love that line, but I think it might be really weird involved in a song.
There was one point at the very beginning where Drew's explaining all this, talking about how we're going to turn Sin City into Grace City, that whole theme. He's like, hey, what do you think of Grace City? And I'm like, it's kind of like cheesy. I don't know. There's probably a better way to write that. Could you imagine if they listened to me? The whole EP is called City of Grace. Oh my gosh. I am so glad no one listened to me on that one.
So we started writing and putting together these verses. And the funny thing is Jesse, he's such a gifted songwriter. Literally, he'll shut his eyes, lean his head back. Steve, Christian, and I are working on something completely different. He'll wake up from his little nap and be like, yeah, I know. Oh, come to the table. He knows you by name. There's no condemnation.
Yeah, it's like a whole chorus is done. I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you doing in your brain there?
But Jesse looks at me, he goes, I got the line. I got the line you wanted in there. And yes, it's okay here to not be okay. But this whole song is driven by the idea that we're called as Christians to be a beacon of light, to be that city on a hill, a city that welcomes people, a city that allows people to belong, even though they might not feel like they can because they've done something wrong or they're ashamed of their past. We should welcome people in. And that bridge that says there's a light that shines in the darkness. We're a city on a hill that can never be hidden. You can come here in chains, but you'll walk out in freedom. So come find your place in the city of grace. That to me, like, those lyrics are some of the, I just feel like the greatest lyrics Central Live have ever had, and it really represents the heart of our church.